So again, we got long at 83. We're trying to work a swing trade here on a strong Elliott wave pattern with a huge fifth wave crunch into the opening here into the first half hour. And we're watching to see if 83 can hold up and they can jam them up over 90. And we're looking for to trade a swing trade for a 50% retrace of this fifth wave crunch to the downside. I hope it happens. It's I don't know. It'd be hard to. It'd be nice. Right now, like I said, we've taken 5 points, which is our rule. 5 point and 10 point level, we take partial profits, and then we try to hold the rest for the big picture. Very bearish action today, so they may crunch them. We may not be able to fulfill our goal here, but we're sure going to try. We're trying to see if they can hold 45.01, and if they don't, then it's the way it goes, you know. It's a particularly weird sort of day where it's extraordinarily bearish and it may not work. We got 5 points on part of the trade, and we're watching to see if they can hold up. Look at that, man. These bears are out for blood today. That's what often happens. They're kind of killing our swing trade, aren't they? Yep, that's the bears today. They're really into it. Let's see if we can once again leap back up towards 87. Ideally, hanging the prices in right in this area and leaping back to 87 would be a decent sign of a possible swing trade to the upside. But for right now, it looks a little shaky, that's for sure. Oh, they're just killing it again. Geesh. Ugh. It's very strange chart pattern today. Very strange. Exit at the market. That's it. They are just blasting the downside today. So we had to exit there under 80. I'm showing 78, 75. Too bad, too bad. I almost hated to get out because maybe now this is where they hit him on the buy side. So I'd like to try another re-entry here. I probably shouldn't have got out, but I did. Let's see if we can try it one more time. Again, we're working a larger scale move here based on the Elliott. Ah, oh, shoot. That was the entry. I got a little faked out on that stop, getting out a little bit early there. It would have held our stop. Ah, oh, crap. That was actually the official, if you will, Elliott wave entry there. Let's see if we can get him back at 3 again or lower. Willing to re-enter again. This is we're trading a larger scale move entry on the deal today. Let's see if we can get him back under 3, hopefully. Let's see if we can pull him back a little bit. I hope so. It's really tricky today because they are pounding the crap out of the market. And they're continuing here. We're trying to get him long again on another little dip lower here. Otherwise, we'll have to just jump in with my signals coming in on the long side here. Trying to see if we can pull him back a little more. Wish I didn't get stop out on that last trade, but I did, so we'll face that music. Yeah, at least we took partial profits on that, which is, why we do that. That's our rule. Come on, they're not pulling him back here. I don't want to get in. Wanted 83 again. I wanted to re-enter 83 on a slight pullback. Let's see if we can get them down towards 84 half. Again, we've only made one scalp today. The rest of this has all been trying to catch a larger scale swing move. I got in a little bit early on it on two occasions. That last trade was like 83 was the right deal. I got out early. We took 5 points partial on the trade, and then I got out early at 78, 75 for a approximate 4.25 loss on that. Unfortunately, that was a ticket. I should have tried to hold that. We're going to attempt a re-entry here down around under 86. So stay ready here. We're going to go long around 86 if we get it. Let's see if we get it here. Let's see if we can get 86 going, and then we're going to try to hold for a swing trade at a slightly higher price. Hopefully they'll pull back and give us that entry without taking off to the moon here. And they might. Okay, now working 86.50. Let's see if we can get it here. Trying to get 86.50. Okay, go long at the market right there. Going long at the market. 86.50. And again, if it's meant to be, target will be 45.03. Sounds like a poem. If it's meant to be, the target will be 45.03. All right, so long at that 86.50 limit I mentioned. It's a tricky day here. My God. Let's see if we can get them going here. Boost them back up here. We're trying to catch a larger scale swing trade, one of the more difficult trades to do, but we have the pattern setting up and everything's set up for it, so it's just a matter of seeing if the market agrees and wants to try to do the swing on the upside and retrace approximately 50% of that fifth wave blast on the downside. And if honestly, if this does not start panning out pretty soon, I'll just abandon it and go back to our regular scalps because it's too difficult to get the thing to pan out for us here. I think it's going to work. Let's see if they can jump them up and start getting this thing working over 90. If not, and they start dropping back again, then the swing trade may be canceled because it just, I took a chance with the pre-market pattern and trying to use that Elliott wave pre-market pattern, but it was only formed an hour into pre-market, so I took a chance trying to work that, and is risky. I'm just doing that because that's what the market's telling me. That's what the system's telling me. You know, win or lose. I mean, you just follow the system. Let's see if they can boost this thing up over 90 and really kind of give it a real blast on the upside to solidify this trade. If they keep hovering around 85 or especially lower, then we may just risk the frustration of getting out and seeing them take off and climb higher anyway. Is this going to be the fourth day where the riggers come in here and prop up a down 120 market and lift it back up, or is it going to be just a continued market that gets slammed lower to the downside? Hard to say right now. The swing pattern setup's there. Let's see if we can get it going. We need a blast over 90 to lift the whole thing up and start a kind of an upward support pattern. Again, in the second level entry would have been 83, and I just kind of took the sort of a normal upper channel entry there at the 86. 86.50 was the number I gave you. And so far, it's failing. It's not really walking away from that price. So it may be just one of these days where it's not going to pan out that well, but I think the setup is there for this thing to walk away and start rebounding. You know, if it's like a down day and they're down 130 points right here, so a normal rebound, maybe get that Dow down 90 or 80, down 80, then it starts to fall back lower. That's a possibility if they can hold up here and start rebounding. That would be fine. You know, we could make good money off of that. But if they're just going to continually hammer it from here, then we have to face that music that the swing trade is canceled and we just got to employ the other tools we have to trade this because it's not happening. In other words, the swing trade is not happening. It's so far, it's kind of, I hate to say it, but it's starting to look a little bit like that. Like they're not really, uh, they're not kicking it in with the usual teeth of a swing trade where they walk away from these lower prices and lift them substantially back higher. They're not doing that here so far. We really need a boost back over 8 to get this thing going. And if they're not going to do that, then okay, so it's just a different type of pattern and it's too bearish and they can't seem to re-swing the market back up. 78, 79 is where we got out last time. So picture us being long from like 80. Sometimes you have to take yourself out of the trade you're in and say, okay, what if we were long at 80? What would we be doing? We would be saying, well, it's pulling back, but it still looks okay. So even though we're long from 650, you have to look at it that way. What if we were long from 80? I'm not going to let the stop run to there, but let's see if from that perspective, if they can start bouncing back here and catching some support for what could possibly still be a very larger scale swing trade up to 45.03. Let's see what happens here. I still think that's entirely possible. I think from my perspective, the real key is getting the prices up over 90 and stabilizing above 90. I think that's the real key. You know, obviously that's because it's a higher price, but it's a very specific number and target. And it's marked by this blue line here. You can see that. So if we can somehow climb over that blue line at 90 there and lift the thing up and actually take off above 90 and then maybe pull back to it, you know, kind of work that area, then we have a good chance of a larger scale swing trade that I'm anticipating for a jump up to 45.03. So here comes 90. So far, so good. The ideal thing is be if they blasted 90 up towards 93 to 95 then maybe stage a light pullback, that type of stuff. We got to watch the price action. So a blast towards 93 to 95 would be a good sign for the possible swing trade unfolding. Looks like they got plenty of room to go from my indicators on the upside. So a blast towards, 93 to 95 and then a pullback maybe to 90 again and stabilizing. Or just a blast of 4503, right? Hey, that would be the best thing, right? Let them do that. That'd be great. Anyway, we're long at 86 half. So take 5 points here. Again, 86.50 plus 5 partial, like we did on the last trade, and then 96.50. Well, you would have taken probably about 6 points there, 6 partial on that, right when I mentioned. But if for those in the room who know our rules, that's what we'd have done. And then 80 or 96.50 is a 10-point partial, and then we let the rest ride here. So watching to see if we get 96.50 going for a 10-point partial profit. If you're trading over 4 contracts, under that, it's better to just hold the whole thing, or you can take one off if you got 3 or 4 on. Take one off at 10 points, 5 points, whatever. The idea is take a little bit of profit at the 5-point level, the 10-point level, because these swing trades I do are all generally end up being 10 to 25 to 30 points on the larger side I've seen. And like I said, you can see the proof on my YouTube channel. We have one recorded. I know one of them on there is recorded with 24-point gain. A bunch of them for 13 and 12, and I think a couple that are like 15 to 17. I forget. There's a bunch of videos on there. So we've taken 5 to 6 points partial on this long at 86.50. Had I not got out that 83 at 79, 78 quarter, I just try to get out if they look like they're going to hit the 5-point stop. I try to at least front run that a little bit, which we did on that. But in hindsight, that was the actual low dip there. That's 78, 75. So whatever. That's the way the mop flops. But we were smart enough to get back in on that pullback after the run up. And hopefully the market will make us smarter by continuing on that path towards 4503 area. And I'm just kind of monitoring my indicators to see if 95 quarter, 99. There might be some topping action in here. I don't think we should short it. I think we should just wait and try to let this thing. It looks to me from the indicators that there's still a ways to go on an upside boost before we would have to consider the move exhausted on the upside. It's starting to look a little bit like it's getting exhausted, but I think there's a little more to go before that happens. But right in here, 96.50, have we hit it yet? I want you to take 10 points, second level partial profit. You can take it right there. Take it 96, 96.50. 10 points partial profit right here. And I'll mark that as 9, but it because never quite hit the 10. 9 partial. But the idea is, taking 10, and then from there we let it ride to the goal of 4503, which would be representing, had we held at 83, it would have been a 20-point move, and we got stopped out, and I jumped back in 86.50. So it will end up, if we get it, it'll end up being about a 17-point move. 16 and a half, 17-point move. So let's see. The market looks to me like it's got room to boost a little further. I could say that maybe this is a topping area too, but we've taken our partial profits. You can see the high there was 96.50 exactly. That's where we take the 10 point. 96.75 is the high, so plus 10 partial there. 9 to 10 plus 5. And like I said, I'm looking for another boost. And if they stall out here, whatever. But if we get another boost, I'm looking for a boost up, ideally over the 4,500 level, and then up to target 4,503 area, which again, as mentioned, is approximately, just from eyeballing it, don't have time to measure it. It's approximately a 50% retrace of this downside slam here. That's why the target is 4503. Again, these Elliott wave trades are tricky, but sometimes people, oh, why didn't you hold for a larger scale move? Well, now we're doing that. So, you know, there you go. But it's tricky. These are trickier trades. Our scalps, a lot of times, they will get 3-4 points and then they'll keep running. That's not what I'm talking about. You don't know when that's going to happen necessarily. There are different measures we have using boomerang that can allow you to do that, and you can trail the stop and all that stuff, but we just scalp the trades. We're just blue collar working traders. We get in a trade, it pans out, we take our money and look for the next trade. It's usually a safer way to trade. Sometimes trailing them's okay if it seems right, but the way I get in the bigger scale moves like this one is through the Elliott wave patterns. All right, it's topping here, and we're still in this bearish market. So they got them up to 99, not far from our goal. And I can certainly see where this could be perceived within a bearish environment here as a partial topping area, but I really do think they're going to try to retrace 50% of this downside hammering. So what we can do, we've taken the partial here because of the bearish environment here. Let's go ahead and what I want to do is close this out at 97, 96.50 or higher, and we'll just call this, for the short-term traders, a 10-point trade. Okay, so there's right in there. Go ahead and close it out there, 96.50. 96.50, as I mentioned to you, we had that. Let's see if it prints again, hopefully. 96.25, 96.50 there. Okay, what I'm doing, because we're in this bearish environment, I'm closing this trade out. They still may try to run, and I'm imagining they're probably going to try to run to 4503. They're getting a little boost here. I'm not turning bearish or anything, but we're in this mega bearish environment here. I think they're going to possibly try to stall up here. So rather than sit through that, we just took 10 points officially on that move for the short-term traders, and I'm going to record that. Even though we took the partial and the 5 point, I'm going to just record as an overall a 10-point gain on this trade. And then let's go ahead and go short right here at the market, short at the market, going short, looking to reverse this trend down here. 97.75, 97.50. Let's see if that's the right thing to do here. Let's see if 97.50 can pull back down to 92.50 for 5 points. Okay, so we're looking for 97.50 to roll back lower here and make a, because of the weaker market, I'm shorting this rather exhausted upside move here, and they may try to stretch them up to 45.03, so we're going to have to get out here if they don't start backing off pretty soon. But if so, we're going to be looking for a move down to 92.50 for 5 points. Want to take 5 points from that entry at 97.50, but they may still try to blast them higher. So let's stay ready to jump out. And hopefully you're going to let some of the air out of the tires here and back this thing up a little bit here. And that way it prevents us from sitting in the trade all day, as maybe they back up to 92.50 and we're still long at 86.50 and woulda, shoulda, coulda taken 10 points and all that, which we already did on the partial, but I wanted to make that trade officially plus 10 points because, you know, we were down 12 points on the previous trade. We're break even because if you recall, we took 5 point partial and stopped out for 4, so that ends up being a break even essentially on that trade. So we're down 12 points, so now we're down just 2 points officially, and we're looking for a pullback now down to 92.50 as the underlying bearish tone hopefully kicks back into the market here and knocks that price down to 92.50 for us for a 5 point move. There we go, getting them hit right now. Let's see if we can hit them under 4, blast them under 4, knocking them down under 93. Let's see if we can blast them down. All right, well, they went 4 on the low. Stay short here. The bulls are getting a little exuberant here. We're still looking for a lower move here. All right, they blast them down to 94, but I wasn't looking for. I'm looking for 5 points. So stick with the trade here. Let's see if we can get them back down to 94, and see if we can break down that 94 price again, and take 94 out, and then knock them down to 250 for a 5 point gain. So let's see if we can slide them back down under 96 here without too much razzmatazz by the bulls here. Knock them under 96, slide them back down to 94, and then go ahead and see 94 get hit with some more selling to work them down. We're still in a bearish kind of mode here. Let's see if that's going to end up being the right thing to do here, being short at 750. Let them slide back under 96 hopefully, and hold that pressure down under 96. They still got a little jumpiness in them there. I mean, you know, there's still that 45.03 potential target. I'm just looking for a pullback over this extended initial upside move. Hopefully we will get that 5 point pullback before they try to launch back up there to 4,500. Just stay ready to jump out here. They sold off real quickly, and now they're kind of scooping them back up here. So the bulls may still have that 45.03 agenda, which from the swing trade concept, I believe they do, but I just thought we'd get a stronger pullback here first. That's starting to look sort of iffy. Let's see if we can get them back under 96. We're still in a selling kind of mode in the markets here. Let's see if we can get that selling mode working again, get that price back under 96, and go down and tap on that 94 action again. I don't know. They look pretty spunky here on the upside still. Man, oh man, they are still working it here. Hold on just a second. They're still kind of bubbling up here on the 95 area, 4,500. Look at that crap here. Holy smokes. These bulls. Well, you remember our swing trade. We still had that target there. Let's go ahead, give it just a second longer here. I would think the sell mode kicked in. That fast dip to 94, 84, 94 got bought right up, and now they're pushing it again. I still think that they're a little exhausted up here. I'm surprised they're not hitting them. I'm surprised they didn't go down and test that 94 again. That's just the way of the market here. Look at that. Okay, go ahead and let's go ahead and exit right here at the market. Exit right here at the market. They're trying to jam this upside. That initial 4503 target is obviously really intact. So we got out there at 4500 quarter. So 9750, 4500 quarter. So just minus 275 on that deal. Minus 275. We took plus 10 points on trade number 7 officially on partial, but then on the scalp, overall, that ended up being a 10-point trade. Let's see here. And number 6 ended up break even because we took partial at 5 points and then exited at 78.75 for minus 4 and a quarter. See what I mean? So partial plus 5, then minus 4 and a quarter, and the rest. That was essentially a slightly, well, 5 is actually a little bit profitable technically. Look at that market going right up to our target up there at 4503. How do you like that? Well, I expected that, but the way the thing looked, I said, this is a very bearish environment here. Let's go ahead and then you saw that 750 jump down to 4. Normally, in quotes, whatever normal is, they would have jumped up a little like they did and then went back and hit 4 and possibly broken that down and we would have got our 250. But these bulls, they're all over this thing here. Let's try to work. Okay, stay right here. We're going to go ahead and go short here at the market. 45.01 quarter, 45.0150. So we'll use 45.01 quarter. And let's see if we can. I'm getting signs here that 45.01 quarter could get crunched down to 5 points. We're going to try to hold for 5 points. Let's see if we can do it. Just the nature of the beast here. It's the way it's setting up on the trade. These rebound guys. There's our price. There's 45.03. So that ended up being, that was the target for the swing trade there. Pretty amazing. We did good on it though. We took 10 in very bearish environment. We knew that it was coming, but I just thought we'd catch a pullback and then we just reconfigure. So now we're shorting up near this area and looking to see if they can blast them back 5 points lower again, back down towards that 97 area again. Let's see if we can do it. Boy, they're 70 down, 70 in the Dow. So if this is going to end up being instead of one of these goofy fourth day rebound nonsense, down 100 and bringing them all the way back to zero on the Dow. If it's going to be a down day, which it looks like that's more in the cards for today, then Dow down 70 after being down 130 now should ideally start to drift back lower to go down and test that minus 100 type session instead of just rebounding straight up from here, taking the Dow back to zero. If they do, then you guys got your absolute proof that this is just a complete rig job. There, mathematically, it's practically impossible for 3 days for the Dow to be down 100, 120 and be brought back to zero each time. Or in case of the first day, I think the Dow was up 30 into the close. It's like ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. Anyway, we got to see this thing start to back off here. Let's see if we can back them off back under 4,500 handle and start to knock them back with the idea that the Dow is down 70 and now it kind of relaxes back towards being down 95 or whatever, starts working that downside again. That would be the normal pattern for a quote normal market without massive rigor interference. That's the way the more markets usually work, and they go down and work that bearish bias again, which we have very strong bearish bias here today. And this is like a rebound in a very bearish bias, not some market where some riggers can come in and take the thing back to zero on the Dow. That's just ridiculous. So if it's going to be a more of a normal ebb and flow trading market, this being down 70, that's great. And now they'll go down to where they're down like 95 to 100 again. And then people will determine whether this is going to be a stronger scale sell-off, or maybe there's another support level that comes in and then they rebound. But for right now, this area should fade out and we should get that move back down to 96 to 97 where our target is. So let's see if they can start to fade this thing back out again now. Pull them back under 4,500. Let the air out of this balloon, and it'll help traders to realize that your rigger buddies that keep propping the market up, you can't rely on them to bring the Dow up from a down 100 day every day forever. It's ridiculous, Anyway, let's see if we can get them under 4,500. Now they're supporting 4,500 a little bit here. Let's see if they can break this thing down under 4,500, get some 44.99 prints going here, and start to roll it back lower here towards being, down, like I said, down 90, 95 in the Dow, maybe 100 again. That would be the normal pattern for a mega bearish higher time frame market like this. So let's see if we can get that together and start to put some pressure under 4,500 and start knocking them down lower towards that 96 target. Or they're just going to stage another rig job and start pushing the market up and big spikes coming in and yeah, rah rah, go bulls, and big spikes, and then they just start driving it up again. I don't think so. I think today maybe it's going to act a little normal and trend down again and try to find support moving back lower. That would be the regular thing to do. But who can put it past these riggers? These guys just, they just want to manipulate everybody with the Dow. Ooh, the market's up. I get this from people who don't know anything about trading. Well, I heard the market was down today. And I go, Well, yeah, markets go down, they go up. And they looked at me like in shock, like the market was down. And I'm going, yeah, that's good. Up, down, it's all good. It's supposed to trade. It's a market. That's why it's called a market. Go to swap meet. That's a real market. Like from the old days, you go to swap meet and how much is this set of tennis balls? Normally in the store, it's, $24, and the guy's got them there on his shelf for 18. You go, I'll give you 15. He goes, done. That's a market. Bid and ask. All right, let's see if we can break this thing down. Get some 4,400 prints here. 44.99 something. Let's go. 44.99 something prints, and then knock the thing down. Come on, print 99. See this goofy rigging supporting the even handle there. It's like, come on. Grow up, riggers. Markets trade and they don't magically catch support right at the even handle there because you guys want to rig it up. Get some 99 prints here. Let's go. Right here. Hit them. 99. Thank you. Lower. We want 96. The pattern started to look like a little more like a sell pattern here, but we got to be careful now that they're starting to show a little bit of a sell pattern here. We got to see that the riggers don't come in and try to rocket ship the thing higher with some goofy spike candles on the upside here. The normal thing, like I said, is a pullback where you get that Dow down 90, 95, and they start pressing the lows again. But here comes the riggers at the 4,500 handle trying to play games and re-spike it back up with a big goofy spike candle here. We got one print of 99.75. Did you see that right when I was telling them to do it? One itty-bitty little 99 print. And then they come in with the spikes, spiking them back up here. So let's hope those dissipate and we're back down to the 4,500 handle soon. Otherwise, we may have to get out of this trade because, well, you know who. Just playing games. Let's see if we can break them down. Back under 4,500. Solid 99 prints. Taking them. There we go. Solid 99 prints, taking them down to 96. Well, 96 quarters our target. Let that stupid 4,500 handle go. What is the big deal here? Let's let them flow to the downside. Normal market. The bearish environment is there. Let them flow to the downside. And we'll look for a move down to 97 or lower. I think we can hold out for that, but we got to be a little careful here. So stay ready. If we get a hard, fast spike under 97, just go ahead and cover up the trade. Did you hear that? That's my instruction there. If we get a hard, fast spike from here to the 97, cover it up. If it slow grinds lower, then wait for 96 quarter for 5 points. But if right in here, 98, 99, and then they shoot down to 97, hit your exit button. Right now they're just slow grinding lower, so we can hold for 96 quarter. But like I said, if there for any reason there's a hard spike down to 97, hit your close button. I got my finger on the trigger here. Hopefully they're going to let the thing go. See, riggers always do these illogical things, and they, like right here, they're trying to move under the 4,500 handle, and they all of a sudden think we got to come in and create an artificial spike move. They're not trading our mini NAS here, but they're doing it on the cash NAS. They're pushing one button and buying a million blocks of all the NAS stocks in one thing. That's the riggers. They got that kind of money. They took it out of the U.S. Treasury back in 2008. I can send you a report from the Government Accounting Office. It's not a conspiracy there. It's the Government Accounting Office. Hello. They're supposed to account for this stuff. Okay, watching for 96 quarter here. We are diving down under 97. Any dip here under 97, go ahead and cover them up. There it is. Boom, cover them right up there. There it is. right at 96 quarter, just what we wanted. So that was a good deal. We got that 10-point move up, and then we held bravely. Well, actually, we got out 97.50. I took them out at 4,500 quarter, and then we reshorted 01 quarter, and we got 5 points on that. 96 quarter for plus 5. Anyway, pretty amazing day today. And again, usually they're a lot smoother. We just work our scalps, but the darn market was setting up all these tricky things here. So let me do an update. We had gotten drawn down to minus 12 points, which is no big deal. If you're new to the room and that shocks you or astounds you, you probably don't belong in futures trading, because that's going to happen in real futures trading. 90% of the time I can bring drawdowns back and turn the thing profitable, which we're going to do today. But it is Friday. So we had trade after trade number 5, we were drawn down 12 points. Trade number 6, we're at break even, because remember, we were long 83. We took partials at 90 or 88 for plus 5, and then we got out from 83. They started hammering the thing again. We got out at 78, 75 for minus 4.25. So technically, we'll call it even, but that was technically a plus 75 trade, 0.75. Now again, your results differ slightly maybe than what I'm reporting here in the room. They should be very close, but they might differ slightly. So that puts us minus 12 plus 75 is minus 11 quarter. I'm just going to run the numbers based on what I reported live and what you should have got very close to live. So now we're down 11 and a quarter, right? So on trade number 7, for swing traders only, if you're brand new in the room or just watching here, trading one lot or two lots just to see what it's like, or on the simulator, you would have just held the trade. We were looking for 23, and what a coincidence, they went right up to 45 or 45.03. Look at that, they went right up exactly. The high of the move was 45.0350. How do you like that? So that was a good call, but based on the structure of everything, I said, nah, they could pull them back here. So that's why we did that short. But overall, we took 5 partial, 10 partial, but then I called directly. I said, okay, we're going to turn this entire trade here into an exit here instead of holding it at 10 points. We gained that 10 points at 96.50. They actually printed that number. So 11 and a quarter plus 10 is minus 1 and a quarter. You with me? Minus 1 and a quarter. On the next trade number 8, I shorted 97.50, and they just weren't letting it happen. They kept jamming it higher, jamming it. So I got out at 4,500 a quarter for minus 275. So 275 plus 1 and a quarter is 2.3. That's minus 4 points net. But we brought that drawdown from ISO all the way back to minus 4 at this point. And then that last trade, we shorted 45.01 quarter, got out 96 quarter plus 5. So we're actually up plus 1 point now. We brought the whole drawdown back. We're up 1 point at this point. And watching for the next trade. Trade number 10. Okay, and I just missed a short there because I was running these calculations, which is too bad. We're watching to see if 98 can fizzle out to 95, and it's kind of a weird pattern here, but looks like it's going to go there. Unfortunately, I missed that one because I was running the calculations. But you heard me say 98 just a second ago. 98 running 95, and here it comes. So unfortunately, we missed that one because I was running those calculations. But I probably should have been just doing this. Anyway, it's okay. I would have nipped them right here for 275. No big deal. There's more coming here. So now look at that Dow down 90. Just like I said, when they're down 70, I said we need them down 90 to 95 to 100 to trade back into a market bias, which we still have on the the higher time frames here. We got them all bearish on the higher time frames. I'm really kind of surprised they're not hitting them a little harder on the downside here, but so be it. So we're just kind of watching for the next trade here now, and we'll close out, see if we can close out our books in the positive today.